What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Stoke Shed. Happy Friday. I'm feeling really refreshed. I'm feeling really ready to go. I'm not gonna overthink it too much, but this room is a total mess. It's I gotta clean this up. Beginning to feel a little less dilapidated, dirty and dangerous in here. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the challenge, to the vlog challenge. I think this is episode 19, so we're a day behind now. I'm breathing hard. It was really some hard cleaning. I hope that montage was satisfying, like those internet videos where people like cut into things that, I don't know, sound like foam, or I think I'm like holding my breath so that Anyway, I had an awesome day off. It was amazing. I worked, it was an editing day. I edited mostly from my bed and I got 2 videos done. I am almost caught up. I'm really just trying to be like super casual about this. I'm trying not to overthink it, not to get too crazy about it. That's something that is really a problem I have. I think neuroticism should be medicated. Is it? Anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how style develops. And I think there are a lot of things that people think about how style works. Like Darren Aronofsky was like sitting in a room when he was like 15 years old thinking, how do I want to be perceived as a filmmaker? Which he might have been, but I really don't think that has a whole lot to do with why when you see like Aronofsky movies, they look like Aronofsky movies. Obviously, like I'm not like a particularly skilled filmmaker. I am able to make a living doing this, which is super awesome. The truth is, the things that people are hiring me for now are not style decisions, but they are style things, right? And all of that just came out of the way that I solve problems. But first, it's time to go for a vlog, or a vlog. I don't know. Are you in here? Just kitties. You ready to go for a run yet? Oh, you're not here. Boo! She's coming now, it's okay. Oh, hey, you're here. You ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, so an artist's style. I think that a lot of people think that an artist has like considered their style a lot, and this may be true for a lot of people, but what I found is that every little decision that you make, every little move that you do, oh, am I in the way? I'm gonna get that. That's all stuff that they did because they had to really close to the road from really close up, and that's how you do it. Why am I doing this? This really probably isn't like a full video's worth of content, honestly. That was just a point that I wanted to make. I'm gonna go for a run now. I'm gonna see you guys in a little bit. Just hang tight. That was kind of hard. Okay, so where were we? Okie dokie, that was refreshing. Where were we? By the way, that was 54 miles this month. I haven't run that long since I was in high school. I feel really good about myself. That may not be a big deal for you, but it's a big deal for me. Anyway, yeah, we were talking about style. Let's go down to Photoshop. Shh. That was a transition. Okay. 3 things about style. 1, it comes as much from what you don't know or have as from what you do. Number 2, every decision will be perceived as a choice that you made, even if what you're doing is just hiding your mistakes. And number 3, It's all about copying licks. And if that doesn't make sense right now, I hope it will in a couple of minutes. So let's start with number one. Your style comes as much from what you don't know or have as from what you do. So I'm gonna start with this still frame. This is Jody. You met him on Monday. He was in that photo shoot that was in the vlog. And I was doing an interview with him, and I had one Kino Flow light for this interview. Which is what I generally use, is I just have the one, because I'm just like running in and out of people's houses and I'm going really fast. And so you can see this is like, he's just like faded into the wall. There's no depth, there's no contrast with him. Like, I mean, I guess the frame is okay. His house is really cool, but that doesn't make this a good frame. And in actuality, this is a really bad frame. But the biggest sin here is that there's no contrast. He just like I said, he just like fades into that wall. But with that same light, here's a still frame from a more recent interview. I actually shot this interview like last week, and you can see I had the subject against a window. And all I do is I have the Kino really close, and then she, the side of her face is dark, and against that window there's a lot of depth and there's a lot of contrast. So I have all of the same stuff, but this is a vastly improved shot. Right? And I mean, there are a lot of factors that you can cite, but I mean, the biggest thing was I just had to figure out how to create depth. But I didn't have like a lot of room. I never do. I didn't have any like super long lenses or enough room to use long lenses to create depth. And I'm using a Micro Four Thirds camera, yada, yada, yada. The point is, this all developed because I had a couple of tools and I had to figure out how to use them. And this is now like my style. I use this embarrassingly often, and it works to great effect. And whenever I do interviews, people are always like, "Oh yeah, do that." You know, like you know, your interviews always look great. I think my interviews look terrible, other than the fact that I know that I get good contrast with the subject, and it's because I do like exactly this every time. If I had just turned Jody around to, you know, have his back to the window, it might have been a much better frame. Anyway, your style comes as much from what you don't have as from what you do. Let's go to point number two. Even if all you're doing is trying to hide a weakness, others will perceive that as a style choice. Even if you don't know a whole lot of different techniques, what it will be perceived as, if the work itself doesn't suck, is something that you intended to do. Say, for instance, you don't know a lot about how to do a thing, but you do have a good eye, like say for graphic design, and so you keep things simple because you're still learning. Hey, lady. So this is my wife. Hi. She is a graphic designer. I wanted to bring you on real quick because I had this idea that pretty much everything that people see you doing once your work is at a certain level is, as they just see a choice, right? Like other people think that you meant to do something even if you maybe didn't know how to do a thing. How long have you been doing it?
It's mostly been in the last year, but I really started like 2 years ago.
Do you know what all the buttons in Photoshop do?
No, there's so much. There's so much. I feel like I've like scratched like 5% of what Photoshop and Illustrator can do.
She gets a ton of work. She doesn't have to worry about getting work. But everybody sees like all those like clean lines and like how everything is just like really focused and beautiful and tidy. But all you see is what you don't.
Yeah, when I'm always like, everything is, I like have to force myself to make something I feel like look interesting because I just want to make it all like straight and even, and then it just immediately gets squashed and it's so boring.
But it's not. It always ends up looking really good.
Yeah.
Like you have not had any clients who are like, you know what? That is just way too simple. It looked like a 4-year-old made that. No, I mean it doesn't look that way. I mean it just looks super classy.
I noticed myself doing that with other like designers, and mostly with other designers where I'm like, wow, how did they do that? Or like, they just always do that so well.
The point is that people aren't going to see what you don't know how to do. They're only going to see the choices that you made. So long as what you made is good, then it doesn't matter what you don't know.
Yeah, it's true. Like, yeah, people don't know.
Awesome.
They don't know what you're leaving out.
Point number 3. Point number 3. It's all about copping licks. Okay, so this probably sounds kind of gross if you're not like into like musician lingo, but basically when you do something that's kind of like what I just did, that's called a lick. It's just like a little piece of music. And basically when musicians build their styles, especially guitarists, you're basically just kind of stringing together licks and variations on licks, right? Think about ZZ Top, if you can, if you're old enough to remember. They're basically playing the same thing in most of their songs. It's just a few different licks together. Think about this. Tell me what song this is. Got it? It's like every song. That's a very popular chord progression. It's kind of a lick. There's a quote that you learn really quick in music school from, it's attributed to Charlie Parker. I don't know who actually came up with it, but it's this. Good artists borrow, great artists steal. Or something like that. Anyway, the point of it is, we're all just copping licks. We're all just stealing little bits from the people that we really like. And it's flattery. It's not like somebody owns shooting an interview with a really shallow depth of field, or putting a window behind someone, or really clean design, or a blues lick. Everybody can use them. It doesn't really matter. The point is that your style is little bits of all the ways that you've learned how to solve problems, and all the things that you've learned to do because it was what you knew how to do at the time to create something good, and because it was something that you saw somebody else do. It's not magic, it's not rocket science, it's just something that develops as you do what you do. And if you like it, you'll put in the work to develop, and it's gonna happen. All you have to do is solve problems and continue to move forward and do the things that you like, and you'll end up with a style that's all your very own. I wanted to put a joke there. I hope for my sake that this wasn't boring. Hope that you haven't already clicked away. My self-esteem is fragile, sweet employee. Hit the like button if you know what that last word means. Subscribe. I'm desperate.